Hey everybody, my name is Tim Vandever. I'm an outreach nurse for the AR Saves program, and Drew Memorial is one of my hospitals that I'm responsible for. And we're here today doing some training and doing the NIH exam and doing a review for everybody to make sure everybody's on the same page to do the exam. So we're going to start by letting everybody know and try to get everybody to remember. In your carts, there's a packet with information that you need for every one of the AR Saves consults. Make sure that you open that packet when you get an eligible patient. And if you know you're going to be calling AR Saves, this sheet here with the information between the two stars, that needs to be taken care of and filled out before you make the call. The patient also needs to have their lab drawn and their CT done, but please don't wait on the results. We don't need CT results and we don't need lab results to treat the patient, but we do need to make sure that they're in process of being run through the lab and make sure that CT has been done and the image is sent to the repository so the neurologist can look at it, and that way there's no delays in treating the patient. So please review these packets. That information is in here. We need to make sure this is filled out, the exclusion criteria have been reviewed, and that the patient has signed the consent forms and the off-label consent, and most importantly is that video consent form, because we can't film them and transmit those images back and forth unless the patient or their family has signed the video consent. Alright, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started with the exam. You need to do the exam using the flip cards that are available on your cards. Do not try to do this from memory. Don't make a cheat sheet. Don't use a wall chart. Use the cards. They are your guide, and if you will follow them line by line, you won't mess the exam up, and you can do this in about 7 minutes if it's a non-complicated patient. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to pretend that Hannah came in having some signs and symptoms of a stroke. She was slurring her speech, and she was having a great deal of difficulty raising and using her left arm. Her speech has gotten better, but she's still having some arm difficulties, so the ER physician and the ER team decided to contact AR Saves to do a consult. So, with that being said, we will start the exam using the flip cards. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to start the exam on the patient. Hannah, what month is this?
August.
How old are you?
30.
Close your eyes for me. Open your eyes. Make a fist. We'll use this hand since that was messed up. Okay? Open your fist. Alright, let that hand relax. Now I want you to look straight at that camera. At this point, if you had glasses, we would remove them. And I want you to follow my finger. You can look towards me now. I want you to follow my finger from side to side, but do not move your head. Just use your eyes. If she started moving her head, I will hold it. So follow my finger. And we'll go all the way from one side to the other side. Okay? Now, for this test, I need you to look at me. Look at my nose. I'm going to hold up some fingers, and I want you to tell me how many fingers I'm holding up. Ready? Okay? How many fingers?
1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 6.
Okay? Now, I want you to look towards that camera again and make a big smile. Can you raise your eyebrows for me? Squeeze your eyes shut. Really tight. Okay, you can open. Alright, now I'm going to have you raise your arm. We're going to hold it up. I want you to keep your fingers out like this. I'm going to count to 10, and I want you to keep it there until I'm through counting. Ready? 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. Okay, lower that one. Now let's try this one. Hold it up till I count to 10. I know you're having trouble with this arm. Let's keep it up till I count to 10. Let go. 1001. Let's try that again. 1001. Okay, having trouble with that. Can you at least wiggle your fingers for me? Not able to do that. Can you shrug this shoulder? Okay, and I'm going to take my ink pen. I'm not going to tell her what I'm doing, but I'm going to squeeze that nail bed real hard and see if she pulls back. Okay? Now, you're going to do the same thing with the legs. Start with this good side. I'll raise your leg, but we're just going to count to 5. If you have any trouble with that, just lay you back a little bit. Now, hold that leg while I count to 5. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Lower that one. Okay, let's try this one now. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Okay, you can lay that one down. If she had trouble with that leg, just like I did on the arm, I could try again if she dropped it, or I could have her wiggle just her toes, do a Babinski reflex, or use my pen and squeeze that toenail bed to see if she pulls back. Alright? Now, I'm going to have her put her glasses back on if we took them off. I'm going to stand beside the bed and I want her to really reach for this. Sit you back up. Alright? Now with this hand, we'll start with this side. I want you to touch my finger and then touch your nose. Just touch my finger with your finger. Touch your nose. Touch my finger. Touch your nose. Touch my finger. Touch your nose. Now let's see if you can do it with that hand. Try. Can you raise it at all? Okay, we'll stop there. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do this and I'm going to want you to do it. I want you to bend your knee, put your heel below your knee, slide it down your shin, back up, and down again. Okay, now you do that with this leg. Okay, can you do that with this leg? Alright, now I've got a safety pin here. Get it off of my rings. I'm not going to hurt you with it, but I'm going to touch your cheeks, your arms, and your legs, and I want you to tell me if it feels the same. Okay? Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Does that feel the same?
Different.
How is it different?
Sharper on the right side than it is the left side.
This side's sharper. If this side was 100%, what would you give that side?
50.
50? Okay. Let's do that with your arms. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Does that feel the same?
The same.
That feels the same? Okay. Do your legs. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Does that feel the same?
The same.
Okay? Alright. I've got these big cards, and on this one right here, there's some items on here. I want you to hold that if you can, and tell me, what is this?
Cactus.
What is that?
A glove.
That,
A chair.
that,
Key.
that,
A swing.
and that.
A feather.
Okay, Doc, you got them all right. Turn it over. Now there's a bunch of stuff going on in this picture. Tell me what's going on in that.
A boy falling off the stool, trying to get a cookie out of the cookie jar. The little girl laughing at him. Mama washing the dishes while looking out the window and the water's overflowing out of the sink.
Okay? I've got a couple of more cards here. This one here, can you hold this? And there's some sentences here. Starting with this one and reading down, what do those sentences say?
I can't read.
You can't read? Okay. Do you need some reading glasses, or are you just not able to read at all?
I'm not able to read it all.
Okay, then I want you to repeat these sentences after me. You know how,
You know how.
down to earth,
Down to earth.
I got home from work,
I got home from work.
near the table in the dining room.
Near the table in the dining room.
They heard him speak on the radio last night.
They heard him speak on the radio last night.
Okay? And I've got some words I'm going to say, and I want you to repeat those. Mama,
Mama.
tip-top,
Tip top.
50-50,
50-50.
thanks,
Thanks.
huckleberry,
Huckleberry.
and baseball player.
Baseball player.
All right? One last thing we need to do here. I'm going to touch you on your cheeks, your arms, and your legs, and I want you to tell me if I'm touching the right side, the left side, or both. But we need you to have you close your eyes for this part, okay? So close your eyes and tell me which side I'm touching. Ready? Close your eyes.
Right. Left. Both. Left. Right. Both. Both. Left. Right.
Okay. And that would conclude our exam. For safety purposes, if this was a real patient, we would make sure the bed rail is up on the opposite side from where I'm standing, just so the patient doesn't roll out of bed during the exam. Now, at any time during this exam, the doctor may tell you, we know we're going to give the out to place. And he may tell you that during the exam to save time, so at that point the other nurse in the room needs to go ahead and start mixing it. But if they do wait to the end, them and the ER doctor may talk for a minute, so you may have to get your ER doctor back in the room, let them talk, make sure the consent's done, make sure the risks and benefits have been explained to the patient, and then you or your partner needs to go ahead and start mixing the drug. And to do that, in the box, there's a powder bottle and a liquid bottle and a transfer device. You can put that transfer device between them. We usually tell everybody to set your liquid down, put the transfer device in, put the powder on top, and then invert it, swirl it till it's reconstituted, take the liquid bottle off, the diluent off, take your transfer device out. Now you've got your drug bottle. The next step is to take your IV tubing, stick that into the drug bottle, go ahead and hang it up, let gravity work with you, let it flush that tubing all the way down to the end, but do not waste any of it on the floor or in a trash can. When it gets to the end, you stop it, take your syringe, you've already calculated your dose using these slide cards. Your dose is on there, your infusion is on there, and your waste is on there. So once you've got that figured, so don't waste any time doing anything else. Once you have that bolus in hand, look at the clock, take a blood pressure, call a timeout, make sure it's right patient, right drug, and start giving that bolus over 1 minute. Now, during that 1 minute that I'm giving the bolus, my partner can be drawing the waste off and preparing the pump. And during that moment of silence, while I'm sitting there pushing that bolus, if my partner is drawing it up, if my partner is getting the waste drawn, then they can interrupt and say, here's the waste, 9 cc's or whatever it is, throw it to the side. I'm continuing to give that bolus over 1 minute, and then if everything goes right, by the time I'm through giving that bolus, my partner is standing there with the IV tubing ready to hand it to me. Remember, never flush behind the TPA. TPA touches TPA. So I finish that bolus at the end of 1 minute, I take that IV tubing, I screw it in, we press start on the pump, and we're done. The drug is infusing. Now, monitor their blood pressures frequently during that time that you're starting that medication. And if you keep the patient long enough before you're able to get them transferred out, and that infusion pump is done and your drip is complete, remember there's still dosage in the tubing that patient has to get, because you've already figured your waste, so the patient gets every drop of that medicine. So if your IV pump times out, hang some saline behind it, program it in at the same rate that your infusion was running. Let that run 10, 15 minutes or so to clear the tubing. You want to make sure that the patient gets all that drug in the tubing. Don't just put saline behind it and let it run in, because then you've given the patient another bolus. Let it infuse at the same rate, and then you're done. All right, that concludes the video.